Hi, everyone, and welcome to the weekly Astro forecast. My name is Krista at Practical Astros. I'm here with my friend Sonia of Celestia Astrology. Hi, Sonia.
Hello.
We are going to be going through a week of September 10th through 17th, Wednesday to Wednesday. It's our mercurial week. So if you're listening to this before, we recorded for the first full week of September the Uranus connection to Mercury and the first eclipse. But within this week, we are eclipse free. It's the middle of the eclipse window. And so we're kind of talking about this astrology week with that eclipse shadow over us, but there are other things happening, some really nice things. So this is what we're looking at. The middle week or the week 2 of September, we have Mercury, which is exalted in domicile in Virgo, is going to be conjoining the sun at 20 degrees 54 minutes on September 13th. And then a few days later, Mercury in Virgo, it will be opposing a retrograde Saturn in Pisces at 28 degrees 46 minutes. So we have a cazimi, a conjunction, and we have an opposition. So what are you thinking of these two in the middle of these while we're in the eclipse window, having this kind of a week in between the two? What are your thoughts on that, Sonia?
It's like really interesting that it comes in that window in between the two, and it's like the party and the cleanup, isn't it? It's kind of like the Kazemi moment, that exalted moment of the meeting with the sun, and then Saturn comes in and like, well, you haven't done this and you haven't done
Yeah.
that. This needs to be. Have you done, wash the windows?
It's the
like,
whip.
yeah. This is everything that needs doing. Come on. And Mercury in Virgo is so fastidious anyway. It's like, what could Saturn in Pisces possibly find that hasn't been done?
How seriously can you take a Saturn in Pisces? Come on.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Just kidding, Saturn.
Yeah. It'll find something, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, we've got some nice comical commentary that Shauna put in the slides coming up. But firstly, just Mercury travels fastest outside of the moon. We have a new moon every month where the moon and the sun are together. Then next up is Mercury. Mercury goes through about 3 retrogrades a year, so we have many kazimis, but we don't always have a kazimi with Mercury in Virgo. And because Mercury has a domicile and exaltation in Virgo, it's the only planet that has that double place. It's extra special. And so if we think of when Mercury conjoins the sun, it's called a cazimi, to be in the heart of the sun. It's in the throne room or the inner sanctum of the sun. And to have that really beautiful Mercury that's considered to be protected, and it's called in its own chariot. So imagine being in a spaceship heading towards the sun. You're in a protected spaceship that isn't being burned up. So when you finally arrive to the sun, you're not arriving all singed and burnt and exhausted and smoking. You're arriving as you are, fully clothed in your own garb, to be as well presentable to the sun as possible. This also happens when Mercury is in Gemini, its other home, but it's exalted here. And so I like the exaltation element added to this cazimi as being a really beautiful moment for exalted thought, support, all the best things being brought to Mercury. Really beautiful idea, really beautiful secret, really beautiful truth that the sun is bestowing upon Mercury. And Mercury then can carry forth as it travels through the rest of the signs. But especially in the house that Virgo is within your own natal chart, to me, that's the theme or the direction or the area of life that secret or truth will be revealed to you. If you can find moments on that day, it's going to happen in the morning for most of the world on the 13th. That beautiful truth being revealed to you in that morning, just dedicating a little bit of time to welcoming that thought in through stillness and meditation and gratitude. That's usually just a general Kazemi advice. We have something planned for that day just as a group, but and we would invite you to do it as well. This will be after the exact Kazemi, but even leading up to it, the day before on Friday the 12th, Saturday the 13th, I think we're going to have that Kazemi party going on.
Yeah. And if you're in the astrology world, you'll probably see astrologers launching things. Quite often you'll notice that when there's a good date or a good election, you find various astrologers all launching things on the same day. We've got our workshop coming up on that date, so you've still got time as this comes out to sign up. Don't forget. And I really like that it's just come from a style to Jupiter. So it's moved from Jupiter straight to the sun. So it's kind of got that last blessing from Cancer and then moved straight into the heart of the sun. It's just really nice. And Sean has left this little note for us: rain on fire, mouth unfiltered. So funny. I love the way that she sees things. Her particular Mercury placement is just fantastic in her chart. The way that that view on the world and the view of astrology that she has is so unique, and just shines through. Just a couple of words and it says it all. But it really is like a creative placement, isn't it? If people have signature in their natal chart, but it is so rare that we see it in Virgo. So it really is any Mercury cazimi is a lovely moment. But as Krista was saying, that we do get a few of them a year, but to get one in Virgo is extra special. So it's nice to just take that extra moment. If you don't normally observe them, this is the one. You're considering observing them. It's like Mercury being renewed, and this one is a superior conjunction as well. Mercury has that different kind of cycle to, say, Mars or Jupiter, who circle the whole zodiac and meet up with the sun once a year. Mercury travels away like a child or a toddler on what would you call it, like a harness or something, where it can go
a leash.
Yes. And so it's like gone off in the shop, found something, and then bringing it back. Look at that found. And it's that kind of energy it can get. I think Venus can get like a sign or two away, and then it has to return to the sun and show and tell. Look what I found. And then it's renewed again. So sometimes it's in the inferior and sometimes it's in the superior position, depending on latitude and longitude and things that I don't fully understand enough.
Well, at this point, like, it becomes an evening star. And so it you can see, if you move the chart forward, if you imagine Virgo there in the 7th house as at that western horizon, the sun would then be below Mercury. It'll be a while before it's visible. But as it begins to separate, is that right?
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Okay.
It will rise.
You'll be able to.
In the evening on the 24th of September is when it becomes visible. So we won't
just after the eclipse.
Yeah, we won't know exactly what those new significations and maybe even the eclipse significations as well being revealed after the 24th, because Mercury rules the eclipses. So it comes out and follow Gary Caton's phases as well for Mercury. But I do sometimes get confused from the east and the west and the visibilities in the morning and the evening. I think it's in the Guardian phase, but I could be wrong. Because it moves into a different phase with each conjunction with the sun.
Yeah, so Wednesday, the 24th, is Mercury's day, to then be visible again. That's cute. That's cute, Mercury, that you did that.
Yeah, there's always like this little wink, isn't there?
All right, brain on fire, mouth unfiltered. The fact that there's a mercurial eclipse prior to this cazimi, and then a mercurial eclipse the following week, is all of September has that Mercury influence of purification and renewal and fated shifts and redirection, all the things that Mercury signifies, which is so much of our life: communication, connection, electronics, technology, finances, security of finances, that sort of a thing, theft, ideas, all of that. It's music and the ability to make art. I think that Venus is the arts and the appreciation. I think Mercury, making things with your hands, is also a signature of the artist. So just Mercury is in every aspect of our life, and have all this Mercury shifting and changing and ideas and renewal is exciting. In addition to having Uranus again over there in Gemini, its other temple, disrupting it all. So as a disruptive but exciting and changing, mutable season after the eclipse on the 21st, which we'll talk about next week, then the day after we go into Libra season. So it's like all of Virgo season has this disruption and speed about it because of all of the Mercury signatures everywhere.
Yeah, and it's like so close to the note still then when that happens. So I feel like the things that are being renewed are still quite karmic, but obviously you're getting that because you're in that eclipse window anyway, but possibly some release or some drain. The South Node is linked to decrease. So maybe, I mean, I always talk about creating a healthy container. Maybe think about what needs clearing out, what you need to release. If you need to release some old files or paperwork or something, do that, help go along by clearing out some of that old paperwork or something. Just help this release along so that you're not releasing things that you don't want to release. That's always helpful. And as always, as we said earlier, keep your backup, which is what we said on the last episode with Uranus in the mix. Just make sure that the things you want to keep are backed up going into these eclipses, because although the first eclipse was really nice, the second eclipse is not so pretty. We have Saturn's day of this cazimi. The moon is in that third quarter square closing in, so it's resolving things. It's kind of letting go itself. We have the cazimi moment on Saturn's day. The next aspect Mercury is going to make is basically opposing Saturn. So I look at this as just like tending to the house, tending to your own temple, having the ideas come as you rediscover things that you already have and letting them go. Be like, I didn't realize I was holding on to this. Like I was cleaning an area of my basement yesterday, and I found a box of Christmas stuff that had water on it and had mildewed, and I just had to throw the whole box away. I couldn't even look at it. It's like, okay, I mean, whatever is held in those memories of whatever is in there is now going to the dump because I don't want to get sick. I'm just going to let it go. And it's just moving it on, making space for the new Christmas memories to be made. Because whatever was in there is now it's already gone. I'm just going through the process of it. So during Virgo season on Saturdays is a great just like deep cleaning of the house, preparing your house for fall and dusting things up. And within that, you have those memories. You do have these ideas of like, oh, if I get rid of this, then I have this space for what I've always wanted to have in the space. Or just symbolically wiping the slate clean then helps you have a better mindset of writing or creating art or having people over, whatever it is that mercurial conjunction with the sun is. So I like it just for a mundane, getting out the broom and sweeping out the old and letting in the new sort of a thing. That's really nice. So we will be giving an eclipse workshop. You can at least listen to us while you're cleaning your basement. Yeah, take a break from the cleaning for a while and just check in with your chart and learn more about eclipses with us. And then, just a few days later, we have Mercury in Virgo opposing Saturn in Pisces, and that's at 17:47, which is universal time. So adjust it for your time zone. Might be earlier in the morning for you. Yeah, it's probably going to be around noon, right, for East Coast. Yeah. I love Shauna's note is Mercury opposite Saturn. Suddenly your jokes have a 10-page bibliography. Yes, Shauna. Yes. There's going to be all of us. And here we've got the eclipsey joke as well, because my little rings that I added have somehow hid, and they're no longer like Saturn, the Lord of boundaries, has lost his boundary. Yeah. Yeah. He's slipped away over there in Pisces. It's such a Piscean thing because Pisces doesn't have boundaries. So, so the picture really speaks to the moment. And then once Mercury moves out of Virgo and into Libra, it'll immediately oppose Neptune. But in this moment, it's just opposing that Saturn. So the opposition is the aspect associated with Saturn because it is furthest away. And the opposition is really the strongest aspect. Conjunctions aren't considered an aspect because they're together. They're not really seeing each other or looking or line of sight. They're co-present in the same degree. Outside of a conjunction, the opposition as an aspect is the most powerful. It's often the one that's most palpable or seen. And so looking at the tension, that very loud, strong tension between the Pisces and Virgo houses, again, the muscles might already be sore because we have gone through one eclipse and we're preparing to go through another one. It's just really speaking on that fate of the Pisces Virgo axis within your own chart. Between Mercury and Jupiter, both Mercury and Jupiter are still exalted, and so they're connected. So there is support there, but it feels like just a lot of activity, a lot of focus, a lot of disruption, a lot of
10-page bibliographies to back up the opinions and the jokes that you make. It's just a lot of it in those houses, really concentrated. The rest of the zodiac is really witnessing this. So, Pisces or Virgo risings, it's going to be, you within relationships, either or. For Sagittarius and Gemini risings, it's going to be that work home tension. So the mutable risings is going to be the loudest for you because it's happening in angular houses. But if you have any planets that are within these degree points of a mutable sign, you're also going to get touched.
Yeah. And it's also for people who've had their Saturn returns in Pisces, it's likely to be significant because Saturn's returned there, and now Mercury's making that aspect, which just lights it up as well, brings that Saturn prominence. So they might find that issues that they were working on while Saturn was in Pisces, and then they've had a respite while Saturn's been in Aries, and suddenly it returns for review again, and they're like, why? I thought this was done. And then suddenly it's on your mind again with Mercury opposing Saturn. It's like something's on your mind and you're being called to do something about it with that opposition and that tension that's coming in as well. It's very much like hard-won knowledge and like mental stress sometimes that you can get with this opposition, the thoughts that Mercury brings, and the Saturn wanting to create something, a form out of it. But in Pisces, it's formless. So there's that tension there. And as well, wanting it to be pragmatic and have that earthy nature to it, that it's tangible and real. Pisces wanting to just wash it away, let it flow, let it be watery. So there's a lot of tension of different natures going on. And you had that for a couple of years as Saturn was moving through Pisces. And now suddenly it's back and you thought you were over it. But it'll only be for a short while. And in 2026, Saturn will be gone from that sign for good.
Saturn will be trined by Mercury once it goes into Scorpio. Mercury will square it when it goes into Sagittarius. So it has some other, before it goes back into Aries, it'll have some engagement from Mercury. It'll be sextiled when it goes into Capricorn. So it's going to get a few more pings, but this opposition really, I think, is going to be the loudest between Mercury and Saturn.
Yeah, it's kind of like similar to the full moon movement of the moon's relationship. It is the combination and the revelations and the understanding of everything, and then the closing square comes when things are just tied up and released. As Mercury moves around, the trine is a little bit easier. It's the nature of Jupiter, and the sextile is the nature of Venus. So it's just that closing square, I suppose, when it's in Sagittarius, and you're just doing the last cleanup of their relationship. But it's good to be prepared for that.
It's like end of February, it goes back into Aries. So, just the final bit for the Pisces Saturns, whatever final bit, it's like these last couple of months to kind of churn through and just deal with before it leaves Pisces for another 27 years.
And you can relax, and you got a little bit of time before it makes its first square.
And luckily for those that have Pisces Saturn, when Saturn's in Aries, it's averse to your own natal Saturn. So you don't have to, you still have it in whatever house Aries is for you, but at least it's not being able to be witnessed. You, the listener, tell us what's going on, because I feel like I think we're already getting the hints of what that is, but share with what's going on with you, especially in that Pisces Virgo axis in your own natal chart, that the eclipses are going to bring up, that the Cazimi is going to bring up, that this opposition is going to bring up, that the new moon in Virgo that happened in August kind of has already started, and the full moon that's happened last week, full moon in Pisces with that eclipse, that is revealed. We're all in this together. The eclipse storms are already churning up all this. So sharing what you are going through, I feel like, is a way to help process it yourself. And then looking at it through the astrology, I think, is a way to be seen. So we appreciate when you share just your own story of what's going on, because it's a way to just have compassion for your own circumstances or even your own decisions by looking at it through the astrology and talking to other people that are astrology enthusiasts or astrologers like Sonia and I. It's a way to just work with your fate. That's what we're here for.
Yeah. It just helps to know the dates and times and know that things will pass. This is, I mean, it's crazy, isn't it, that the astrology the last 2 weeks, all we've talked about is this Pisces Virgo and the planets that are impacting that Pisces Virgo, the Mercury, the Uranus, Jupiter and its relation to them. So it really is very much a focus on this area. So the eclipse influence, it really is big in the spotlight.
Yeah. I wrote recently about, it came from a client being like, I just don't feel like I'm doing it right. And I wrote about like when the astrology doesn't work. And a lot of times transits will happen and you think like that was it, like nothing really significant changed. Or I feel like it's affecting everybody, but it's not affecting me. And there's so much nuance in astrology of like where things are hitting and the timing of when it's revealed. And Dorji Kirsten of Heart Astrology mentioned like astrology is not always supposed to work. It's not just mechanical or mathematical. It's dealing with larger entities, larger energies, larger spirits. It's the gods, it's the stars, it's these universal powers. And engaging with astrology is kind of divinatory work, engaging with that. And sometimes when it doesn't seem like it's working, you feel like you're doing it wrong. But it's really about the astrology works whether we realize it or not. But in moments like this, when there's so much activity, I doubt that people will feel like they're not noticing some sort of a shift. And paying attention to the omens, writing things down, writing down the synchronicities, writing down dreams, the conversations that you have, even if in the moment you don't know what it all means, upon reflection later, after the dust settles, most likely, most people are going to see some sort of shifting happening from these weeks. And it's not hyperbolic. It's just reminding that eclipses are these moments, these crossroads moments of fate. And yes, when you're in the middle of it, it's harder to decipher, but usually they signal that there is some sort of shift. And even the Cazimi alone, the Cazimi with Mercury and the Sun together in Virgo, I hope that people can access that moment, because for me, it's rare that you don't get some sort of bright, shining, illuminated, meditative download. And so if you can make space for it, and if you feel like you haven't really been able to connect with the astrology, try to connect for the Cazimi and see what happens. And take notes so that you can look back on it later after the dust is settled, like once we're in Scorpio season, when all the eclipses definitely ended and you're able to reflect a little bit more. Look back on your notes and see if you can pull some threads that were significant now, but you weren't able to see it until later.
That's certainly a thing with eclipses, isn't it? They can reveal themselves years later sometimes, that you see the significance of something that appeared insignificant at the time. So anything that's chance or out of the unusual, out of your normal routine, make a note of it.
Yeah, because if we were blown away if we knew things were life-changing the moment that they were life-changing, I think it would numb us to the beautiful nuance of how life unfolds. If I knew that the moment that I met my husband, I would marry him and we would have a child, I think that would freak me out. Or I would expect everything to be, at the highest level, the highest color. It's like being in a lucid dream. The colors pulse. They're so intense. And we're not designed to always be in this like elevated, amplified state. So much of our existence is nuanced and is subtle and is soft. And it makes the amplified state that much more pivotal because it's different from the regular mundane. I see these weeks of September as being the amplified state because of all the astrology that's happening. But maybe the timing for how it expresses itself to you is revealed later. I think for some of you, it will be revealed in the moment that it's happening. And again, like writing it down or sharing it with your friends, posting it on social media so there's timestamps, emailing yourself the synchronicities, anything like that you can capture it so that you can go back and look at it in a few months to then extract some meaning from it if you feel like you miss out of it during the moment. But don't feel like you're doing it wrong. It's the astrology that's kind of in charge here.
Absolutely. And you can find that article that Krista wrote on Substack, because it really is interesting and opens up all those considerations about astrology and what it is and how we approach it and how we work with it as well. So it's beautiful. Thank you, Krista.
Thanks for hosting this.
Don't forget, on the 13th, we've got our workshop, Eclipses Unveiled. So if you're watching this early, you've still got time to sign up. And if you're watching it late, we will have the recording for sale after. So if you have missed it, you can still buy it, and you can still buy the workbook and everything and learn all about eclipses, learn all about Pisces, Virgo. If you find out that significant things have happened to you after the fact, like the eclipse window stays open after the actual eclipse, we've still got another one coming on the 21st, so you still have time to watch and learn what to expect for the 21st as well. There we go.
Eclipse works.
Asteri Kairos. And we'll be back. Will it be Krista? I don't know.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
It'll be a Uranian surprise.
Yes. We'll be back on the 17th to the 24th of September. So thank you so much, Krista, for joining me, especially at such short notice.
Of course.
And if you've enjoyed this, please remember to like, subscribe, and comment with your experiences of this time. It's especially interesting to hear how this has played out for you. So thank you, everyone.
Bye.